I've got head coach Blake Anderson. For those of you that are participating via Zoom, we'll handle in-person questions first, and then we'll do the Zoom component second. So we'll start with Coach Anderson opening comments, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, just not the game, obviously, that we wanted. It's one we knew was possible. We've seen people come down here and have the same kind of night we did. But I think we got out of it healthy, which is a plus. Hopefully we're going to learn some things off of film that'll help us get better moving forward. But I was very, very clear with the media and very clear with our team all week. It's the best team I've seen in pads in my career in 30 years of coaching. And they played like it tonight. Didn't make a lot of mistakes. The couple we did make, I thought we did okay. Picked one off, blocked the punt, made a couple plays along the way, but ultimately just got out-athleted. So for us, it's getting out healthy, getting back to what we do every day, and try not to let this one linger, which is hard to do because guys have a lot of pride. Nobody felt like we played very well tonight, but that's a challenge, and we'll do that. And still got a lot of great things ahead of us with this group. So we'll keep it where it's at, learn from it where we can, and move on from it very quickly and try to play the ball we're capable of. What questions do you have?
Coach Jake Nielsen, what were some of the mistakes that your team made in that first quarter that maybe amplified some of the damage that they
Not sure that we did, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll look at it. It's hard. I don't want to blame anybody or point fingers without seeing the tape. In some instances, we were right where we were supposed to be and just couldn't make the play. We just got out-athleted. I mean, that's the best group of players I've ever seen on the field. And in some areas, you can be right where you're supposed to be and still not make the play. So I don't want to point fingers anywhere. It just physically got outmatched most of the night. And I'm sure we made some mistakes, but they weren't glaring. Last time I was down here, we made some very glaring mistakes that were easy to see. It wasn't that kind of night. So in that sense, I'm actually proud that we didn't line up wrong, uncover guys, have a million penalties, throw a bunch of picks and turnovers. I mean, in that sense, we did a lot of good things. We got beat by a better football team with a lot of great athletes.
Can I ask about pulling Logan Bonner in the second quarter, just precautionary?
He got dinged early. He got hit a couple times. We knew they're going to hit you. They're going to hit you until you throw a flag. And he got dinged, and knee was swollen. And it's structurally sound, but it just didn't make sense to continue to throw him out there if they're going to let him keep getting hit. And that's just it wasn't the right decision based off where the game was and where he's at.
Coach, last thing from you. Can I ask you about Ike Larson and the energy he provided in the second half?
I mean, Ike's got 2 good games under his belt, pick and a block punt. I felt really good about the pump block opportunity. We told him all week, if you can make him pump twice, we're going to get one, and we did. And I put Ike in that position. I felt like he would be, the moment wouldn't be bigger than him, and he did exactly what I needed him to do. The pick was a great play. He covered a lot of ground to get there and make the plays. He's doing a phenomenal job for us. Hopefully down the stretch, as the season continues, he's going to keep doing that. So I'm proud of him.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions. For those via Zoom, please identify yourself before you ask Coach Anderson a question.
What's coming to you, or how are we getting this? Oh, we can hear him?
Should be up there. All right.
It's going to be easy if that's it. Anybody?
Obviously, you've been all the way out in Utah. You hear a lot about Bryce Young. You see him on TV all the time. Same with Will Anderson. How different is seeing them actually play on the field?
I'll be honest with you. He played exactly the way I anticipated. Dude won the Heisman Trophy for a reason. He's an NFL quarterback that played poised, moved when he needed to, checked the ball down more tonight than probably we saw him check the ball down in any game based off how we played him. And that, to me, is a smart guy that's not going to force the ball. So everybody that I saw tonight was as advertised. I mean, they're as good as I thought, and we didn't sugarcoat this coming in at all. We were very honest. I was brutally honest with our team about what to expect physically. Nobody disappointed me. As I said earlier, it's the best team I've ever seen put on pads. I expect them to win a lot of games.
Questions for those on Zoom? Fire away.
Maybe they're asleep or they're muted. I don't know which. I hate to leave. We got a question, but I'm not seeing any or hearing any. Anybody there?
questions for Zoom folks?
I don't have any good answers for you, but you're welcome to ask. We good?
Hey, Coach.
There you go. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, Trevor with Deseret News. I'm curious what you told the team after this game.
Number one, that I love them and I'm proud of how hard they played, and that I wish this was not an environment that our team had to be in. But it is what it is. This is a game that you had to come play. It didn't feel like we were physically going to match up very well. We didn't. But as long as they played hard and tried to do what we asked them to do not doubt or be frustrated or be down at all. It is what it is, and that I've seen people in the SEC come here and get treated exactly the same way, and we're not built that way, and only haven't been there a year and a half. We're a long ways away from being able to play that game physically and match up. Maybe we'll never be able to, but this is we got to put this one where it belongs. So don't let this one linger. Learn from it, move forward, move on, and trust the way we do things. And that's about all we can do.
Other questions on Zoom?
Coach, Patrick Mayhorn with the Action. There were a couple injuries throughout the game to some starting defenders. Is there any update on guys like AJ or Cassidy or any of those guys?
Yeah, first indication is just all bumps and bruises. We were pretty cautious, obviously, with the score where it was. Didn't feel the need to risk anything. Once guys had some bumps and bruises, we were pretty cautious about putting them back out. Just my first glance and talking to the medical staff is that we should have everybody back and healthy this week to practice and get ready for Weaver. So in that sense, that's a victory. We can't afford to lose a starter or a key player in a game like this, and with it being as physical as it is, that is possible. And so in that sense, I think we're fortunate.
Hard to pull a ton positive from this, but Ike Larson having another pretty important, impact here. Had the interception, blocked the punt. What did you see from him, and what have you been seeing from him?
I saw tonight what we see really on a daily basis. A guy that loves ball, got a big passion, just big heart, plays really hard, can cover ground extremely well, and the moment's not too big for him. I don't know that everybody at his age, as young as he is, and haven't played a lot, that's a rare talent, I think. So he's playing like a veteran in a lot of places. Now, he's not playing perfectly, and he's standing over to my left, and he's probably listening, so I don't want his head to get any bigger than it already is. But he is showing up when we need to. He blocked the punt, doing exactly what I asked him to do. He was in the right spot on the pick. Last week, he made key plays and sealed the game. He's just going to get better, and he's got a great career ahead of him. So super proud of him, and expect him to only get better as weeks progress.
Next question.
Trevor with Deseret News again. How beneficial are in-game reps for young players in a game like this?
Well, there's nothing quite like playing a game. I mean, practice is not the same. Playing against that level of talent is unique in itself. But we did get a lot of people on the field, and you'd like to think, I don't know if there's a way to calculate that or really, visibly see it, but I just think game reps are critical, huge. To tackle a guy, to line up where you're supposed to play against a really physically talented football team, and the matchups be that difficult. There's some residual benefit from that, and hopefully down the stretch as the season progresses, as we have some injuries and guys do have to step up, those reps will help us be better when it really matters late in the year in conference play. So that's one of the few maybe benefits of tonight. There's not many, but that may be one.
Coach Jake Ellis, Utah Statesman. Wanted to get your overall impression on how special teams did tonight. Seemed like the punt team was pretty good and constantly had a 60-yarder.
Yeah, he had a couple that he did not like at all. I think he's trying to be too cautious. We were very respectful of their returner. We've seen it not go well if you don't cover well. I thought we covered punts really, really well. He kicked a few huge ones, great hang time. Jamie Nance, Jade Smith, and those guys did a phenomenal job of hemming things up. I think maybe the longest return was just a few yards more laterally than downhill. So in that sense, that was big. To get the punt block was huge. It was something we thought we could do and schemed it to get exactly the look we got. And Ike stepped up and made the play. So maybe the one place all night that we that we were successful and really the game plan fit exactly the way we needed it to.
Hey, Coach, Sean Harrison with the Herald Journal. Was there a thought at all going or kicking a field goal at the end there to get some points, or was you just wanting to get it in the end zone?
You know, at that point, man, a field goal is really not going to benefit anybody. Wanted to give our guys a chance to get a ball in the end zone, wanted to move the chains. If it was a close game and strategically a field goal made sense, that'd be one thing. But when you're down where we are, I think just getting reps and trying to execute a play is way more important.
Coach Jason Walker with Cache Valley Daily. You pulled Logan Bonner pretty early. Was that just kind of precautionary, the way you've been kind of holding him back sometimes in the scrimmages?
Bonner, he got dinged early, and with the knee, we don't want to take a lot of chances. It was swollen. Structurally seems fine. He'll be fine next week, but it wasn't smart to continue to put him out there. Wasn't going to be able to move like we needed him to.
Coach Brian Priest with KSLSports.com. Wondering what you thought of the performances in a tough environment of Cooper Lagasse and Levi Williams. Not necessarily even in terms of numbers, but more so how they managed the offense.
In that sense, I thought both did well. That's a pretty chaotic environment to be in. They're under duress a good bit. To not have thrown a pick, and we did have one ball ended up on the ground. Probably a pretty physical hit that I think that caused it, but they did a good job, communicated well, and tried. We got a couple first downs along the way. Considering the environment, I thought both did fine.
Any other questions for Coach Anderson?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
All right, next up we've got redshirt freshman safety Ike Larson. We'll start with questions in-house, and then we'll go to Zoom second.
Hi, Jacob Nielsen, KSL.com. I just want to ask you, Coach Anderson was saying that you guys were in the right spots a lot of the times, just they were making plays. So what was that like to play against a team like that has such high caliber athletes and trying to stop them?
They were way better than us, and we got to just take what we learned and move on from that.
How fun was it for you? I mean, it's not fun to lose, but your chance to play pretty much the whole second half and get an interception, punt the block. How was that to come down here and get some of those personal stats?
It was pretty fun, but I rely on my teammates and they rely on me in right position, right time. And at the end of the day, I am blessed, but there's also a lot of things that play an account to me in those plays. So.
What did you see on the interception that you had? How did you make that read, and what was that play? How that's going to go?
That was just a game plan deal. We knew they would run the work route, so going back to Coach Bonda and just game planning all week, and it worked out and I was successful.
What did you see from Bryce Young that, was it about what you expected from watching him on film? Did he impress you in certain regards? Or?
Yeah, Bryce Young is a really good quarterback. I watched him last year, and he's really good, and I have a lot of respect for him. And, he deserves the hype that he gets. So.
Okay, questions from folks on Zoom for Ike.
Hey, Ike, Trent Wood with Deseret News. I'm curious just how beneficial for you in your career getting on the field is and just getting in-game reps versus just practice.
It's been great. I had to work for it. Coach Bonda has built trust for me, and, just got to keep going and keep doing what I can do in practice and prove myself to the team.
What was this environment like for you? I assume you've never been in an environment like the one you were in tonight.
No, I've never been in this type of environment before, but it was awesome. First time, and you get the butterflies a little bit, but at the end of the day, you just gotta execute the plays, and I feel like we did that pretty well, and they're just a better team tonight.
Hey, Ike, Brian Priest, KSLSports.com. I was just wondering what areas you feel like your game has most improved in your time at Utah State.
Probably my tackling, because Coach Bonda's on it every single day, and if we don't tackle, we'll probably run him in practice. But Yeah, part of my tackling.
And I one follow-up question. What went into the decision as far as your position, playing defensive back versus playing on offense like you did in high school?
I've been a really defensive back at heart my whole life, so when I got the call from Coach Anderson to get the opportunity to play safety for him, I bet on it. I'm happy I did, so I'm happy to get the opportunity.
Any other questions for Ike? Okay. We'll have wide receiver Brian Cobbs in just a second.